Hey everyone, I'm Keon and I'm a certified personal trainer and group fitness instructor at Shreds Gym in Ladera Ranch, California. And today I'm going to be taking you through another basic and beginner lower body strengthening workout. This time we're going to be focusing more on your quads and your hamstrings. Okay, I'm going to be showing you all the exercises and I want you to go ahead and try them with me. And just remember that if any of these exercises are easy for you, you can always look up other exercises and that are more suitable to your level. But I will be showing a few progressions here today. But with that said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're going to start off on the ground. I'm going to go ahead and get this chair out of the way. We're going to do something called a quad set, okay? So what I want you to do is you can grab a pillow or a towel and roll it up or whatever you have that is kind of squishy and will provide a little bit of cushioning. What you're going to do is you're going to put it underneath your knee, okay? I'm going to start off under my left knee, okay? So you go ahead and lay on your back. I like to keep my other knee bent. Doesn't really matter what you do with it. You can keep it straight or bent. What you're going to do from here is you're going to contract your quad muscle. So squeeze this muscle, and by doing so, you're going to push your knee down into the pillow, squishing it, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to press down, squeeze our quad muscle. We're going to hold for 5 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release, and then go again. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to repeat this 20 times, okay? 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want you to squeeze as hard as you can. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 10 more. 11, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 12, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 13, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 14, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 15, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 16, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 17, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 18, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 19, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. And finally 20, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. All right, now we're going to switch the pillow or towel over to the other side. We're going to do it on our right side. Now keep in mind, if doing 20 straight is too much for you and it's a bit challenging and you're getting sore, you can always go ahead and just do half of that, do 10, and then take a rest for a little bit and do 10 more. But I'm going to go straight 20 through, okay? Try and see if you can. All right, we're going to begin and press down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 4, 2, 3, 5. Release. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 9, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 11, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 12, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 13, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 14, press down. 2, 3, 4, 5, release. Remember, squeeze as hard as you can. 15, 2, 3, 4, 5, release. 16, 2, 3, 4, 5, release. 17, 2, 3, 4, 5, release. 18, 2, 3, 4, 5, release. 19, 2, 3, 4, 5, release. And 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, release. All right, so that is one set on each leg. I would ideally like you to do that 2 to 3 times. For the purpose of this video, I'm not going to go through 3 times just to speed things up a little bit. I am going to go through another set, but this time I'm going to show you a little progression of the quad set. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a straight leg raise along with the quad set. Okay, so the quad set is just the squishing the pillow, pushing the knee down into the ground. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and lie back down. Okay, we are going to engage our quad muscle. We're going to squeeze this muscle up on top on your thigh right here. Okay, this knee, you can keep it straight, keep it bent, doesn't matter to me. Okay, so again, we're going to engage that quad, squish down as hard as you can, and from here, we're going to lift straight up to right about here, and then nice and slow on the way down. Okay, then release. And again, engage the quad muscle, press down, lift up. Okay, slow on the way down. All right, we're going to do that 8 more times. Press, lift up, nice and slow on the way down. On the lift up, I don't really care how fast you go. If you want to control it and go slower, if you want to go faster, either is fine with me, but I do want you to go slow on the way down, okay? So again, engage, lift up, nice and slow on the way down. Maintain that tension in the quad. Okay, engage, lift up. All right, back down, engage, lift up. That's 6. All right, engage, lift up. All right, 3 more. This is 8. Nice and slow. Okay, 9. All right, release, engage, and 10. Now that should be a little bit more challenging than just doing the simple pressing of the knee down, okay? I'm gonna move this over to the other side, and we're gonna repeat, okay? All right. Okay, here we go. Engage the quad, lift up, nice and slow on the way down. Engage the quad, lift up, nice and slow on the way down. Engage the quad, lift up, that's 3. Engage the quad, lift up, 4. Engage, lift up, that's 5. Engage, lift up, 6. Engage, lift up, 7. Engage, lift up, that's 8. Engage, lift up, that's 9. Engage and lift up, and that's 10. Okay. All right, so that is called a quad set with a straight leg raise, or SLR. Okay, and so what you can do is you can either do 2 to 3 sets of just the pressing into the pillow and holding for that 5 seconds, or you could do what we just did, where you could press on the pillow for a second and then lift the leg up nice and slow on the way down, 2 to 3 sets of 10 of those, or until failure, basically until you can't do anymore. Either will work for you. Okay, if you want to make that, even the straight leg raise, a little bit more challenging, what you can do is maybe get some ankle weights, wrap it around your ankle, something like that, to provide a little bit of resistance for you. Okay, but that is going to be the quad set, and the quad set with the straight leg raise. All right, next thing I want to show you, we're going to do, you need something that you can put under your knee that's a little bit harder. Okay, I have a foam roller here. You can use that. You can use a ball too. Soccer ball, basketball will work. Anything that gives you a little bit of leverage off the ground. What you're going to do again is you're going to put it underneath your knees. Okay, underneath your knees. And you're going to lay back on the ground. And this time, we're going to engage our quad, and we're just gonna lift our leg a little bit off the ground, okay? This is called a short arc quad or SAQ, okay? We're gonna do 2 sets of 10, all right, together. Here we go. So we're gonna squeeze, engage the quad muscle, nice and slow on the way down. Engage that quad muscle, nice and slow on the way down. Engage that quad muscle, nice and slow on the way down. This is 4, all right. Let's go 5. And I prefer you do it 1 at a time. You can do 2 at a time, but it's a little bit easier to focus doing 1 at a time. So that's 6. I really want you to focus on squeezing that muscle as hard as you can. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And if you do experience a little bit of pain while doing the exercise, just squeeze a little bit less hard, okay? So I'd like you to squeeze as hard as you can without pain is what I should say, okay? So now we're gonna go onto the right leg, okay? Squeeze, lift up, nice and slow on the way down. Squeeze, lift up, nice and slow. 3, okay, 4, all right, 5, 6, nice and slow. 7, squeeze that muscle. 8, 9, last one, 10, back down. Okay, something I want you to keep in mind when you're doing this, I actually want you to maybe point your toe outward a little bit instead of having it straight on. Just point it a little bit out. That way it's gonna work more of the inside of your quad a little bit more. It might be a little bit more comfortable on your knees. But after we take a little rest, we're gonna go back into it. Okay, we're gonna do another set. All right, so 10 more. 1, squeeze, toe point out a little bit. 2, squeeze. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now we switch sides. Go on the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so that is a short arc quad or SAQ. Like I said, again, if that's too easy, okay, you can always do more reps. All right, you don't have to do necessarily 10. You could do 20. You could go until you can't do anymore. So push yourself, feel it out. If you can do more than 20 without really feeling much of the muscle working or fatiguing at all, it's probably too easy of an exercise for you. If that's the case, I'm going to show you another exercise, a progression of that. I'm going to need a chair, okay? So I'm going to bring this chair into the picture, and I'm going to bring this up a little bit, okay? And from here, we're going to do what's called a long arc quad or LAQ. This is the only chair I have in here in my room right now. You can use, I prefer if you use something stable, something that doesn't rotate and roll around. So a regular chair, a table chair, you could use a bed, you could use a desk, anything you can sit on that provides some like height off the ground, essentially. So from here, what we're gonna do is, again, we're gonna contract, we're gonna engage this quad muscle on top of the thigh here. We're gonna bring our leg up, squeeze this muscle, nice and slow on the way down. And I'm actually gonna move this down a little bit so you can see here. Okay, so again, kick up, squeeze this muscle, nice and slow on the way down. I prefer if you have something a little bit higher off the ground than this so that your feet doesn't touch or your foot doesn't touch, but this will do for now. I could always lift the chair up, but I'm just gonna do this for demonstration purposes. So something like a table would probably be your best bet, okay? This is rep 3, nice and slow on the way down. 4, okay. 5, 6, 7, squeeze, 8, 9, and 10. I'm actually going to bring the chair up a little bit just so I can get a better demonstration in. Okay, now we're going to switch over to our right side, okay? Let's go. Contract, really contract, nice and slow. Contract, 2, rep 3. That's number 4, contract, nice and slow. Coming up, I don't care how fast you go. Coming down, nice and slow, okay? Up doesn't matter. I'd actually prefer if you go faster on the way up, but doesn't matter too much to me. 6, 7, 8, squeeze, 9, and 10. Nice and slow. So you could also, like I said, do 2 sets of 10 of those, or I prefer 3 sets or more. But you really want to get that muscle working. You want to feel it fatiguing and feel it getting a little bit sore. I'm going to only show you 1 set just because it was a progression of the previous exercise, and I want to move on to the next thing. But a couple things I do want to point out, even if that is even too easy for you, you have a couple options, okay? You can, like I mentioned in the straight leg raise exercise, you can attach ankle weights if you have some, okay? If you don't have ankle weights, another thing you can do is you can attach a resistance band. You can tie it around your foot and to tie it to something behind you, so that way the band is pulling backwards as you kick out, okay? Unfortunately, I don't have a resistance band with me right now, so I can't show it to you. But like I said, you tie it around your foot, okay? And then you tie it to something behind you so that the tension is pulling back as you kick up, all right? And that way it will provide a little bit of resistance for you, okay? So that's what's called a long arc quad, or LAQ. And again, that's a progression of the SAQ, which is also a progression of the quad set. Okay, so that's that exercise for you. I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the picture again. Okay, the next exercise I want us to do, are gonna be, let's try step ups, okay? So this is another progression. If you feel comfortable doing those exercises and you don't have any pain, we can do what's called a step up, and it's exactly how it sounds. You just stand up, step up onto something, whether it's a staircase, whether it's a stool like what I have here, okay? All we're gonna do is put our foot up, okay? Make sure whatever you're standing on is sturdy, okay? Put your foot up. We're gonna focus on putting as much pressure, as much of our body weight as we can onto this foot, and as little as we can onto this foot. And you're gonna really squeeze that glute. You're gonna stand up onto here, and I want you to go back down with the same foot still on the stool or on the staircase. We're gonna do that 10 times. Okay, so there's 2, nice and slow, put pressure through here. 3, okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, the way I'm demonstrating it is I'm just coming up and very lightly tapping the top. You could also come up and drive your knee up if you want to get even more fancy and a little bit of core involvement, a little bit more core involvement, I should say, in there. That's not necessary for the purposes of strengthening the quad itself, but you can also do that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and finish up on the left side. This is rep 2, okay, 3, 4, again, put that pressure through this leg. 5, 6, 7, 8. Whole time we're bracing our core, okay? Flex those abs, take a breath into your stomach, and really pull those abs in, okay? 9 and 10. Now again, if 10 is too easy, feel free to do more reps. If it's too difficult, dial it back to what you can do, okay? We're gonna go ahead and do another set with you on both legs. One thing that you can do to make this harder is there's two things actually. One, you can get a higher step, okay? That's gonna make it a little bit harder, and it's gonna probably involve a little bit more glute than quad. The lower it is more quad involvement. The higher the step is a little bit more glutes involved in that. And then the second thing you can do to make it harder is just hold some weights, dumbbells. You can put a backpack with books on your back. You can hold water bottles. Anything that adds resistance to the movement, okay, will make it a little bit tougher. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do a second set here, second set of 10. All right, so put your foot up, engage the quads, squeeze the glute, back down, 2. Okay, make sure we're bracing. 3, brace our core. 4, you want to suck it in as if you're about to get punched in the stomach. 5, 6, 7, nice and controlled. 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now we're going to switch sides. Remember, keep that same foot on the stool the whole time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nice and controlled. 7, 8, 9, last 1, 10. Okay, so that's 2 sets of 10 on those. Like I said, you're more than welcome to do more. Okay, in fact, I prefer if you did do more. If it's too easy, challenge yourself. Go ahead and do more. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to something called the sit to stand, and it's exactly how it sounds as well. Okay, you're gonna get a chair, a table, bed, desk, whatever that you can sit on. All right, and we're basically gonna do a squat into whatever you're sitting on. Okay, so whether it's your chair, whether it is a bed, a table, whatever you want that has some elevation to you. But before we get into doing it, I want to go over how to properly squat, basically. So in terms of foot position, okay? So a lot of people say squat, you need to be shoulder width apart, feet pointed straight ahead. I disagree. I don't think there's one way to squat for any particular person. I think everyone's different. And so I think you find what's comfortable for you. If that means you're like this, perfectly fine. If you can get all the way down like that, or at least comfortably do so. If you like to move your feet out really wide and point your toes out, that's fine in my opinion as well. I say find something that's comfortable for you. I tend to like a little bit of a wider stance with my toes pointed out just a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and adopt that stance here. All right, now that you find your stance, there's one thing you wanna do, and that is brace your core. Again, like I said, you wanna pretend like someone's about to punch you in the stomach. So what I want you to do, kind of take a breath into your stomach, okay, and then flex your abs, all right? That way, nice and hard here, you're ready to go, all right? So we have our stance figured out. We have our abs braced. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit back, drive our knees out, tap the chair, okay? Come back up, all right? So I'm gonna show you from a side. So a lot of people, when you ask them to do a squat, what they'll do is they'll just go forward with their knees, okay? You don't wanna do that. It's gonna put a lot of pressure on your knees. It's not a very efficient way to squat. What I first want you to do, and I'm gonna move this up so you can see it, okay, is you're gonna go backwards with your butt first, and then you're gonna start going down, okay? Notice the difference between this, knees forward, and butt back and down, okay? All right, so Let's go ahead and squat now. Do our sit to stands. All right, find your foot position. Brace your abs. Okay, butt back, drive your knees out, tap the chair, up. That's 1. Nice and controlled on the way down. 2. All right, 3. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, butt back, knees drive out. 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so one thing I do want to mention is find something sturdier than this. Don't do it in a rolling chair or one that can twist around. Just makes it more difficult and more scary, honestly, because it can move and you might not know. So that's the sit to stand. If that's too difficult for you, you can always elevate it. You could put like a pillow or a stack of towels, stack of sheets, anything to elevate it up a little bit, just so that the part where you sit down is a little bit higher and a less deep squat for you. If 10 is too easy, go ahead and do more. Like I said, always try and push yourself. But if you can do, let's say, more than 20 and you're perfectly fine, it might be time for you to move on to just a regular body weight squat, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the picture again, and we're gonna just do regular squats for our second set, all right? Now keep in mind, if squats are too difficult for you right now, you're gonna go ahead and do a second set of the sit to stands, maybe even a third set, okay? But for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna show you the second set as just a squat, okay? Here we go. Go ahead and do it along with me. Like I said, if it's too difficult, you can go ahead and do the sit to stands while I do these squats right now, okay? So find your foot position that's comfortable for you. Then we're gonna brace our core. Then we're ready for our descent, okay? Now I want you to go as deep as you can handle. If that means you can only go this far, that's fine. If that means you can go all the way down, that's fine. I want you to go as deep as you can handle, okay? That's pain-free, that's comfortable for you, all right? Okay, we're ready. Foot position is selected. We're bracing our core. Now we're going butt back. Here, down, touch, up. That's 1. Okay? Just like we were sitting onto the chair, but the chair is no longer there. Okay? 3, 4, 5. Drive those knees out, open up. 6, 7. Last 3 I'm going to show you facing forward. Okay? Here's what I mean driving those knees out. Open up. 8. Okay, we don't want this. All right. 9. One more. 10. Good. All right. So those are squats. Great exercise for building strength in your quads and your glutes, okay? As well as developing those muscles size-wise. All right. Let's see. I believe that is it for our quad exercises. Now we're going to move on to our hamstring exercises. The first one I'm going to start off with is just a prone hamstring curl. And all that means is that you're going to lay flat on your stomach, okay? Just like this. Get whatever may be close to your feet out of the way. And what we're going to do here is lie on our stomach. We're going to curl our leg back and nice and slow on the way down. 2. Nice and slow on the way down. 3. Okay. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Nice and slow on the way down. Switch sides. Curl up. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Nice and slow. 7, nice and slow, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's one set of 10. We're gonna go ahead and do another one. Again, if you wanna make this even harder, like I said, for a few of the other exercises, you can toss ankle weights around your foot or your ankle and do the curls with that. Or like the LAQ, you can get a resistance band. This time, again, you're gonna tie it around your foot, and you're gonna tie it to something behind you. That way, when you're pulling back towards you this way, the resistance is pulling in that direction. So let's say maybe you have a bed frame. You could tie it around your bed frame, okay, then tie it to your foot, and there you can curl using the added resistance of the band. Unfortunately, I don't have one to show that for you or demonstrate it for you, but I'm sure there's demonstrations elsewhere on YouTube where you can look that up if that's something that interests you, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and do our second set here, okay? 1, nice and slow, 2, nice and slow, 3, nice and slow, 4, nice and slow, 5, nice and slow, 6, nice and slow, 7, nice and slow, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, that's 2 sets of 10. If you'd like to do more, go ahead and pause this and do another set. If not, we're going to move on to the next exercise. And what we're going to do is a hamstring bridge. Now, if you watched one of my previous videos, I showed you a normal bridge that focuses more on the glutes. Okay, when we did that, our feet were closer to our butt. So for a bridge, obviously you want to get on your back. Okay, you want to bend your knees, feet flat on the ground. All right, and as I was saying, the closer your feet are to you, the more glute is involved. All right, the farther your feet are away from you, the more hamstring is involved. So we're going to do a hamstring bridge. So we're going to move our feet a little bit farther away from us. Now, I don't want you to be like all the way out here to the point where you can barely get off the ground, but I want you not quite here, but maybe just a few, like another foot out, okay? And from here, we're gonna tighten up our abs again, okay? And all we're gonna do is lift our butt off the ground and thrust our hips up towards the ceiling. All right, so here, abs nice and tight, okay? We're gonna thrust our hips up and back down. Pause for maybe a second at the top, thrust up, back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, squeeze, 9, and 10. Now, there are a few things you can do here if you want to make this more challenging. First thing you can do is the easiest thing is you can just modify the tempo that you do it at. So when we go up, instead of holding for 1 second, you could hold for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, then come back down. Or you can go up and on the way down, go nice and slow, maybe a count of 3 or a count of 5. So say you go up, you go 1, 2, 3, and then touch down. You can do either of those two things. Or you can stack some weight across your lap. You can put a dumbbell. Okay, you can put a dumbbell, you could put a stack of books, a purse, a backpack filled with whatever, water bottles, and just do weighted hip thrusts or weighted glute bridges, I should say. All right, so that's something you could do. If you have a resistance band, you could tie a resistance band around you, have something hold it against the ground right here, okay, on both sides. and then you can do your thrust with the band around you, provide a little bit of resistance, okay? Or what you can also do is make it more unstable, all right? So we can do this by putting a foam roller underneath your feet, or you could use one of those big yoga balls, also known as a stability or a Swiss ball, okay? And the more unstable the exercise is, the more your hamstrings have to work in order to keep your legs stabilized, okay? So you probably put your feet or heels on the foam roller, the ball, whatever it is that's unstable, and you go up, and now your hamstrings are working a lot more, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do the second set on this, okay? Just remember, you can either do that, or if you don't have one, you can just continue doing the normal hamstring bridges with your feet out farther, and that's fine too. Let's go ahead and do a second set though, okay? This is gonna be 2, 3, slight pause, 4, slight pause, 5, remember to keep your abs braced, 6, slight pause, 7, okay, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Okay, so like I said, tons of variations you can do to make that exercise a little bit more challenging. Okay, and then we're gonna go on to our final exercise of the day, and this is just gonna be a classic hip hinge, all right, otherwise known as a Romanian deadlift, okay? Now for here, what I want you to do, I want you to stand up, okay? And I'm gonna first show you this movement unassisted because I can confidently do it, and then I'll show you a progression of it, a regression of it, and then I'll even show you some progressions, okay? So what I want you to do, stand up, feet should be about shoulder width apart, okay? About shoulder width apart, pointed straight ahead, all right? And then from there, we're gonna maintain our soft knees is what we call it, okay? So a slight bend in the knees, okay? I don't want you to squat, all right? Don't want you to go forward with your knees, all right? If this is locked out, if we're locked in the knees right here, just a slight bend, okay? From there, brace our core as if we're about to get punched, okay? After that, all we're gonna do with our soft knees is we're gonna push our butt backwards, okay? Notice my butt starts here, push my butt backwards and hinge forward, ends up right there, okay? Then come back through, squeeze with the glutes, all right? When you do this, you're putting your hamstrings in a lengthened position here, so you should feel a nice stretch on your hamstring, and then on the way back, squeeze your glutes to bring you forward, all right? The knees should not travel anywhere. The knees don't go forward, all right? We're not gonna squat down here, all right? Again, I'm gonna show you one more time. Brace the core, soft knees, butt backward, hinge forward, okay? Feel a stretch in your hamstrings, squeeze the glutes. Notice my knees don't go forward, okay? Just butt backwards. Knees stay in the same spot, okay? Now, if that's too tough for you and you can't quite get it without assistance, what you can do is you can grab a mop, or you can grab just a long stick, a dowel if you have one lying around the house, a baseball bat, golf club, whatever you have that's long and that can reach from the back of your head down to your butt is gonna work on this, okay? So what I want you to do is you're gonna take whatever instrument that you picked up, you're gonna put it behind your back, okay? You're gonna make sure you want it to be touching the top of your head, the middle of your back, and then your butt or lower back area. And from here, all we're gonna do is, again, brace our core, soft knees. From here, we're gonna go back, butt back, make sure that the whatever you're using remains in contact with those 3 parts of your body the entire time, okay? Feel that stretch in your hamstring, then squeeze your glutes, come back up. One thing I want to mention before moving on is a lot of people think that the point of this exercise is just to go as far as you can that way. That's not it, okay? All we want is to put a stretch on the hamstring, okay? Now for some people, that stretch may come right here. They may feel that stretch right there, and if that's the case, go that far, come back up, All right, for me, I can feel a stretch about right here, and then I come back up. If it takes you all the way till your torso is parallel with the ground to feel that stretch, then go ahead and do so. But don't overdo it just because you think you need to go as far as possible, okay? That's not the case. But with that said, we are gonna do 2 sets of 10 on these hip hinges, okay? So remain contact in 3 spots. Brace your core as if you're about to be punched. Soft knees and butt back, bend forward. Kind of squeeze the glutes on the way up. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Okay. That's 4. Feel that stretch in your hamstring. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. That's 8. That's 9. And 10. I'm gonna put this down. For the second set, I'm gonna do it unassisted. For those of you that feel comfortable enough to do it unassisted, you can do it along with me like that. If you don't feel comfortable enough, go ahead and keep your stick or mop or whatever you're using with you and do them like that, okay? We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna go back into it, all right? You ready? Okay, so I'm gonna move it down just so you can see my knees again. Okay, feet shoulder width apart. Bracing the core, all right, as if we're about to get punched. Soft bend in the knees, all right? Butt back, okay? Squeeze the glutes. Butt back, squeeze the glutes. Notice how my back is relatively straight, not curved, not bending this way. Nice and neutral. Squeeze the glutes. That's 3. Okay, feel that stretch. That's 4. That's 5. Feel that stretch. 6. Notice my butt starts here, ends up back there. 7. 8. 9. And 10. All right, so that's a hip hinge. Very great hamstring and glute developer for both musculature wise and strength wise, and it's also very good for your lower back. Progression wise, you can do essentially a Romanian deadlift, and what you do there is you hold on to some weight in front of you, okay? All right, you can either hold on to dumbbells, have one weight just out in front of you, but what we do here is, okay, you just do exactly what we did, soft knees, core tight, butt go backwards, but you have weights in your hands, and you just let the weights drop straight down in front of you, okay? And then you come back up, all right? So you can do it with weight, or you can do it on one leg even, okay? So I'll show you on one leg, all right? And bring this down a little bit farther. When you do it on one leg, it's very challenging for your balance. So this is very advanced. Unless you're highly comfortable doing this, I don't recommend it just yet. But I'll show it to you for those that are curious. Okay, you're gonna stand on one leg. Try and balance along your foot. Don't put all the weight in your heel. Balance equally along your big toe, your pinky toe, and your heel. Okay, and from here, brace your core. You're gonna go down on that one leg, keep your back leg straight, your toe pointed towards the ground. You're gonna come back up, okay? The idea is to not put any pressure through this leg, so I'm gonna go a little bit slower. All right, back up, no pressure in that leg. And see, it's even tough for me to balance because it's a very challenging exercise. There you go. What you can do if that's too difficult for you is you can use your back leg as a kickstand. Okay, so instead of doing it completely single leg, you put hardly any pressure. This is almost like if we're counting it out, like this is 99% of the pressure is on the one side, and then there's maybe 1% of the pressure back here, and all you do is you do your hinge, butt back, soft knee, okay, so that you can balance more easily while you do your hinge that's a little bit more focused on one side. Along those same lines, for the glute bridge or the hamstring bridge, you can also do that on one leg. I forgot to mention that. So if you lean back, you can also do a bridge on one leg or move it farther out and do a hamstring bridge on one leg. The other leg can be up in the air, down low, doesn't matter. But that is one other way that you can make that a little bit more challenging. And that's another good progression that you could use in addition to the other ones that I mentioned earlier. All right, so those are the exercises I want to show you today to develop mainly your quads and your hamstrings, but also you're going to hit a little bit of your glutes in there as well. Now, it's normal to feel sore after doing all of these, especially if you're very new to exercising or you haven't done it in a while or you're coming off some sort of knee injury or whatnot. Okay, so don't be alarmed if you feel sore. Your muscles are doing their job, okay? You can heat it or ice it if you need to. I prefer heat, but if you're feeling worried about that, don't worry at all. I recommend doing these maybe every other day, maybe every 2 days or so, but you don't necessarily need to be doing it several times a day, every day of the week, like a stretching maybe, because strengthening, your body needs to be able to recover, right? So give your body some time to rest, all right? And then, like I said, if you're able to do some of these exercises, for example, if you can do a squat, a bodyweight squat already, or you can do Romanian deadlift with weights already, then these exercises are probably too simple for you. These are meant to be very basic, very beginner exercises. Most of them are used in physical therapy for people recovering from knee surgeries or knee pains, or for people that just haven't exercised in a while. So if that's the case for you, these exercises are great. If that's not the case and you're too easy, don't limit yourself. Go find some other exercises that work for you, okay? Challenge yourself, push yourself, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed that and you did it along with me. I even worked up a little bit of a sweat doing this, so I hope you did too, and I hope you enjoy. Take care. Thanks.